The movie begins in Darjeeling, a beautiful hill town full of green hills, toy trains, and cheerful people. The year is the 1970s. The streets are busy with people, trams, and the sound of laughter. We see a man riding a bicycle very fast through the narrow lanes. He wears a cap, suspenders, and has a big smile on his face. His name is Murphy Johnson, but everyone lovingly calls him Barfy, because when he was little, he couldn't pronounce Murphy properly due to his hearing and speech disability. So Murphy became Barfy, like the sweet. Barfy is deaf and mute, but full of energy, creativity, and joy. He communicates through expressions, gestures, and body language. He's always joking, pranking people, and spreading smiles. He might not hear or speak, but he feels the world deeply. He's charming, innocent, and a little naughty. One day, a new girl named Shruti Ghosh moves to Darjeeling with her parents. She's from Kolkata. She's engaged to a rich man named Ranjit Sengupta, who lives in Kolkata too. But when Shruti sees Barfy for the first time, standing under a streetlight, fixing his bicycle and smiling innocently, something changes inside her. They meet by chance many times. Barfy tries to make her laugh with his pranks, like pretending to get caught in his own cycle or mimicking people, even though he can't talk. He has a way of communicating that is so pure and funny that Shruti feels drawn to him. Barfy starts to follow Shruti playfully, trying to impress her. He shows her his little world, how he fixes his cycle, feeds pigeons, plays with children, and lives happily despite not hearing or speaking. He even tries to climb up to her balcony to say hello, which makes her laugh. Slowly, Shruti begins to fall in love with him. His happiness is infectious. He teaches her that love and life don't need words, they need feelings. But there's a problem. Shruti's mother notices this. She knows that Shruti is already engaged and warns her that life with Barfy will be very difficult. She says, "Love alone is not enough. When you marry, you need money, security, and comfort." Shruti feels confused and scared. Deep down, she loves Barfy, but she doesn't have the courage to go against her family and society. Barfy goes to Shruti's house holding a letter in his hand, nervous but hopeful. He hands it to her father. Intending to ask for Shruti's hand in marriage, her mother takes it and says dismissively that Barfy must have come asking for money. Barfy notices Ranjit, heartbroken and unable to explain, points out about his inability and leaves. After some time, Barfy's father falls very sick. Barfy runs to the hospital but needs money for his father's operation. He tries everything. He even attempts to rob a bank by pretending he has a gun made from his finger inside a coat pocket. But he fails miserably and ends up being chased by the police. This is when Inspector Sudhanshu Dutta enters the story. A funny, chubby police officer who keeps running behind Barfy like in a Charlie Chaplin movie. Their chase scenes are full of humor. Barfy hides behind walls, climbs poles, and fools the police in clever ways. Sadly, when Barfy finally reaches the hospital, his father has passed away. He sits beside the bed, holding his father's hand, realizing he's all alone in the world now. Now we meet Jilmil Chatterjee, a young woman with autism. She is from a very rich family. Jilmil's parents mostly ignore her. She doesn't like loud sounds or strangers. The only person she's close to is her nanny, who takes care of her at a special home for children with disabilities. When Jilmil's grandfather dies, her parents take her home because she has a share in the family's money. But soon after, she mysteriously goes missing. The family suspects she has been kidnapped. At the same time, Barfy, desperate for money, kidnaps Jilmil, or at least that's what it looks like. But the truth is different. Barfy actually takes her away to protect her, because her family only sees her as a burden and source of money. He doesn't want to hurt her, he just needs money, and ends up forming an unexpected bond with her. Barfy and Jilmil travel together to Calcutta, Kolkata in a small bus. The scenes are sweet and funny. Jilmil doesn't talk much, and doesn't like to be touched. Barfy tries to make her laugh with his silly acts, balancing on benches, crossing streets in funny ways, and sharing food. At first, Jilmil feels scared and uncomfortable, but slowly, she starts trusting him. She learns that Barfy isn't like the others. He cares for her, protects her, and never laughs at her differences. There's a beautiful scene where Barfy tries to build a small wooden swing for her in their new home. Jilmil smiles, and that's when we see the first real connection between them. They become inseparable. Even without words, their love starts to grow, pure, innocent, and childlike. Meanwhile, Inspector Dutta and the police are still searching for Jilmil because everyone thinks she's been kidnapped. Barfi and Jilmil keep moving from one place to another, trying to hide. Their journey is filled with little moments, making tea together, running in the rain, and dancing in the street. But their happy time is interrupted when the police finally find them. Jilmil is taken back to her family, and Barfi is arrested. Jilmil tries to hold his hand, but the police pull her away. The look on their faces says it all. They've found love, but the world won't let them be together. Years pass. Shruti is now married and living in Kolkata. But she's unhappy. Her husband doesn't love her the way Barfi did. One day, she sees Barfi again by chance. He's still the same, cheerful but now a little older, working in a store and living a simple life. Her heart fills with old memories. They start spending time together again. Jilmil feels insecure due to this new woman in Barfi's life and goes missing again. Shruti feels now Barfi is her own. But Shruti soon realizes something. Barfi's heart still belongs to Jilmil. Barfi believes she's alive and sets out to find her. Shruti helps him. They travel together, searching everywhere. After a long search, Barfi and Shruti find Jilmil living quietly in previous old home for the differently abled. When Jilmil sees Barfi, she hides behind a wall at first, shy and scared, but then runs to him and hugs him tightly. It's one of the most emotional scenes in the movie. Even though neither of them can speak, the audience can feel their deep love. Shruti watches them silently and realizes what true love means: selfless, wordless, unconditional. She understands that Barfi was never meant to be hers. She smiles through tears and quietly walks away, leaving them together. Barfi and Jilmil are now old and still living together, happy and peaceful. Their love has lasted through everything: time, distance, and the world's judgment. In the final scene, Barfi is lying in a hospital bed, weak and breathing slowly. Jilmil sleeps beside him, holding his hand, resting her head on his shoulder. Moments later, he passes away peacefully. When the nurses come in, they find that Jilmil has also passed away, still holding Barfi's hand as if she couldn't imagine a world without him.